a little bit today about our work in civil society. The Progati project, I was talking to some colleagues, and their reaction was, this is a project that's all carrot, no stick. And I think that's a pretty accurate description of our project. We're really trying to encourage behavior and institutional change. But where we can be effective is when we can harness the demand from citizens to advocate for change from their state and their government for accountability and promoting reform. And we work with a very wide range of counterparts, representing those who are demanding improvements in the civil society and media side, and those who can supply more responsive government. And we work at the national, divisional, district, upazila, all levels of government. Our strategy of how we organize the project is really with three main themes. One, we want to find leaders, and those are leaders in institutions, organizations, communities, families who are promoting reform, and help them and offer them the skills which they can do that more effectively. Second, we want to promote partnerships and collaboration, and we're specifically looking at areas of collaboration between civil society and government. And we're not looking for one-off collaboration. We're looking for ways to promote sustained engagement between civil society and government. So I want to talk about a couple ways that we've been working to promote citizen voice and partnerships to increase accountability, and talking about a couple tools and activities that we've worked on over the last 3.5 years. The first is what we call a citizen scorecard. This is not a unique tool. It's something that's been done around the world, but we've modified it a little bit to really reflect the operating environment that we're working in. One that's very, very politicized. One that's at the very local level. This is a new capacity for citizens and civil society groups, and we've designed it as a tool for civil society to monitor national level services at the local level. And it has applications as a generic tool, so you can use it for any sector. So it's been used in local government, health, food, aid, and education. We implement it at the very, very local level, the Union Parishad level. We can, if you have questions, we can talk about it more. But it's really a kind of a 6-step process. It takes about a month, looking at building awareness in the community, picking a service, doing research, and then dissemination. But I want to talk a little bit about the final steps, which is a public hearing that happens. So the community has gone in, picked a service, they've developed indicators, they've talk to the user groups, and then they come together and present this along with their recommendations to the public. And one thing that we found is this is really a catalyst for for sustained interaction between government and civil society. In parallel to this, we've gone and done orientation of upazila level. It's the county level officials about this scorecard process, what's going on, how they can be a part. So they're in a way co-opted into the process, and they are very heavily represented at these public hearings. The hearings are 100 to 300 people. So in a local community, it's a major event with wide media coverage, and it's really a new space for citizens, and these are average citizens from educated individuals, teachers and business people, to farmers and other of the user groups for these services. And there's something about the formality of it. They're using indicators, they're scoring it. There's a report that's generated that really offers legitimacy to the findings from the citizen group. And this is all about corruption or perceived corruption in these services. And what we've emphasized is this is really about dialogue and not confrontation. It's trying to work together with the government officials to improve the service. Just some anecdotes about how this has been effective. One of these scorecards was done for a cyclone center that was being built, and the community group went in and found that they were using very substandard materials, and it wasn't being built to the specifications that it was supposed to, and so they stopped. They were able to get the local officials to stop the construction until the changes in contracting and construction were made. In the another case, and we do a lot with the Vulnerable Group Development Project. It's a massive government of Bangladesh project to provide food and other assistance to the ultra poor. So this program should offer a set amount of food per month, and then vocational training, microcredit, and a range of services. And often this is really highly corrupt. You know, the right people aren't getting included in the program, and local officials are using it for patronage and to their families or supporters. They're not getting the amount of grain because some of it's being sold on the local market. And in one case, the local officials kind of just threw up their hands and said, I don't know how to fix this. So you citizens who found all this problem, you monitor it, and so you distribute the grain and the rice, and really giving them a role in the process. And if you had a slide, I could say, and this woman, we did one for on a health clinic. And during the public hearing, one of the officials, the health officers in one of the local level clinics was accused of selling drugs that are supposed to be handed out for free on the local market. And as a result of that, and the picture shows this nice woman sitting with this garbage bin of all the packaging. What she does now is she saves all the packaging from the drugs she distributes. So if anyone comes in to accuse her in the future, she can show them that, look, I'm really distributing and not throwing it out or selling it on the local market. So that's the citizen scorecard. We've also done a fairly broad social audit of this vulnerable group development project, this assistance program to the ultra poor. So it was we trained 311 citizens to be data collectors. They went out and surveyed 20% of all the cardholders, the participants in this program. We worked primarily in the Khulna division, and as a result, we find that 75% of the cardholders don't meet the criteria for the program. About 70% of the participants receive less than the 30 kilos of food they're supposed to get. Over a third received nothing more than food, and they're supposed to get microcredit and other services to bring them out of poverty. And over a third had never seen a government official participating in monitoring. But what was interesting about how this worked is, again, we really worked to co-opt the ministry, and this was the Ministry of Food and Disaster Management. So over 150 of the officials participated in some capacity in the social audit. And then what we did is the civil society groups who did this work went and they met with the ministry and provided the findings. They went to the standing committees of parliament and provided the findings. They went to local government associations and provided the findings. And they went to the media as well. So they've been able to have a seat at the table at a very high level policy level with this information that they've collected. Just two other very briefly, we work in partnership with the Bangladesh Women's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Women entrepreneurs are particularly vulnerable to corruption. The lack of information about what a trade license costs, how to pay VAT, and how to get a tax ID number. This local partner did a survey, and then they started calling a working group, and they at the divisional and national level. At the division, working with the mayor of Khulna City, the anti-corruption officials, the national Board of Revenue officials at that level, bringing them in and looking at how to address issues of trade license. Again, getting very high-level participation from the mayor's office and others to really work on solutions, which was a very exciting for them. And finally, it's almost the supply side. We have a local partner, the Comptroller and Auditor General of Bangladesh. He is a man who feels very strongly about the importance of building up his institution that faces a lot of institutional weaknesses. And he's gone out of his way to invite civil society into his building, which they've never had the chance to do before, setting up a fraud hotline. He wants to hear from local citizens. If they see something in their community, he wants to know so he can go out and audit. And he's done a roadshow, which he's gone to all the divisions, introducing himself, meeting with civil society and media, to make sure they understand what he's doing and how he's working to help citizens in Bangladesh. And then, without any support from any donors, he set up a media cell in his office to make sure people get audit reports and see what's happening at the local level. To sum up, just some lessons, which I think one is in this context, information is key. When the civil society organizations have information, whether it's through the scorecard, through the social audit, through a survey of what's happening to women entrepreneurs, they can have a very credible and legitimate role at the table, talking to officials who probably don't have access to that information. The meeting with the Standing Committee of Parliament on this assistance program to the ultra poor, these members of Parliament didn't know anything about this program, and they were really thirsty for this information from civil society. Co-opting local officials, bringing them into the process earlier and working in partnership has been very helpful. Doing this work is not without risk to these local citizens and local community groups. And this bringing in of senior officials has been really important to protecting and providing a buffer to some of these organizations. Really promoting constructive dialogue, not looking at confrontation, but looking at how citizens and government can work together on making improvement is really important. And as well, the sustainability. I think these initiatives have created a new space for citizens and government to continue dialogue. On the scorecard, we went back just very recently and looked at some of the work we did with health clinics, and the citizens continue to monitor a year later, monitor the clinic, and you get some positive and negative feedback. The clinics, the officials say, oh yes, we work with them and they're coming in, and it's nice to have them working with us. In others, they said, oh, these citizens are so uppity, they come in and they tell us what to do. And from our perspective, both are great. That means that the citizens have a role. They're allowed in. Local officials might not like it, but there is that new space that citizens didn't have before. So thank you very much.